What's up, guys? You're watching Poot's Garage. We got tires. Before we get to these big old tires, we gotta do something. Let's go to the map. And it's Poop from the future. My back is killing me. Oh my god. So I always film these little parts after I do all the work, and man, you're gonna love those wheels and tires. My back is hating it though, but stick around and watch. But this week for the map, we got 11 locations, so we gotta get through that. And for the new people, what we do is you just call out where you're watching from, and I'll put a red pin on the map. So first up this week is one that I actually think that I had missed. So I was going through some old comments and I noticed somebody had commented Gardnerville, Nevada, and I was like, I haven't had that many local Nevada people on there. So I looked at my map and there's not one there. So sorry if I missed you, but we're gonna stick you on now. Next up, we got for the entire state of New Jersey. That's our first New Jersey. And back out to Nevada with Reno, Nevada, Navarre, Florida, San Mateo, California, Santan Valley, Arizona, Dyersburg, Tennessee, Jasper, Georgia, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, Troy, Montana, and last is Queen Creek, Arizona, which is right next to Santan Valley that we just put on there. All right, so that's it for this week. Keep calling out them cities, them states, them counties, them countries, whatever you want to represent. All right, we made it. We got tires, we got wheels. This truck is this close to sitting on the ground again, but we still got some work to do. We gotta get these things mounted up. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna balance these and do different things. So these are 40 by 13.5 inch on a 17-inch wheel. These are big boys. These things weigh about 93 pounds a piece. I'm gonna weigh those myself here in a minute because I'm just curious. And then the wheels we're putting on are over there on the truck already. That's a Battle-Born wheel. It's a beadlock. It's called a Sierra Flow Formed. Beautiful wheel, very nice. So can't wait to get those mounted up on these. Being a beadlock, we get to do it ourselves. So these tires are absolutely insane. Huge tire, biggest tire I've ever had. So this is the Maxxis RAZR MT. You can see the size and everything there. It's a load range C, so it's not a heavy duty tire. It's not like something I'm gonna put on my Ram or anything, because this is for four-wheeling. This is what we're doing. I need a nice soft tire with lots of traction, and that's what we got here. And these are those beautiful wheels we're gonna be putting on these. Again, this is the Battle-Born wheels, Sierra Flow Formed, so go check them out if you are looking for some serious wheels. So I didn't expect these tires to be this aggressive. I know the bigger you get, the more gnarly they get, but the amount of spacing in between these lugs is just insane. And these are supposed to be really good in mud, which I'm not entirely worried about mud out here. I'm more worried about sand and rock traction and stuff like that, but this is what we got. So the reason they are so good in the mud is because the lugs are so tapered. They come to a V between each one, so the mud has nothing to hold on to. It just flies out, has nothing to grab. So that's pretty cool. And they got some pretty serious side protection on those so that we got them aired down. They're not gonna be riding on the sidewalls. Even just the raised section that, says the brand and all that stuff is super thick. So I mean, that alone is adding a lot of side protection. Pretty aggressive tire. Now I'll be honest, this was not my first choice of tire. This was kind of my second choice. My first choice of tire was gonna be the Nitto Trail Grapplers. I really like just the tread design on there. It's more of like a classic style. It's real plain. It's more like the old school BFG mud tires, which I always liked that tread design. It just kind of looks good on everything and it performs great. But the problem with the Nittos is you can't find them. They are sold out everywhere, especially in this size. They're completely back ordered and I didn't know how long I'd be waiting. I didn't didn't want to wait months to get tires. I need something now. So second on my list was actually these tires. These Maxxis tires, they're available, they're out there, but then I also found a website that was selling them for significantly cheaper than everybody else, which was kind of strange. So I kind of took advantage of that and ordered them up, and I was half expecting my order to get canceled because of that, but nope, we got them. They sent them out, no problem. So we got tires, saved us a few $100 on that. So we are extremely happy with these. Just a little teaser of how big these things are and how much they're gonna fill out that wheel well. You see the axle is actually sitting low in the wheel still, so the truck will actually come up a couple inches here. But yeah, once this thing is sitting where it needs to be, it's gonna look perfect. Now, in order to join these wheels and tires together, I had to buy a bunch of extra parts. So this is all the supplies and different things that we need to put all this together. So we'll start on the right side here. First, what we got is just the hardware that came with the wheels. These are for the locking ring, for the bead locks and all that stuff. So that came with the wheel. These are the valve stems. These actually came with the wheels too. That's pretty cool that they actually included that. And then next, what I actually had to buy extra was the valve stem installation tool, I guess you call it. That's that guy right there. This one's a little fancier than I've used in the past, but if you've worked in a tire shop, you're probably very familiar with this little guy. All this basically does is this threads onto the end of your valve stem, and that allows you to pull it through and pop it in place. Or we always used them to actually rip the valve stem completely out when we were replacing tires. And then next, I bought lube. I actually bought some tire lube. That's pretty cool. I could have used like Dawn Just Soap or any other slippery type substance, but I actually want to be able to buy a tire machine in the future. I really like doing tires, and I can't stand how much tire shops cost these days, so I want to buy my own set of machines. So hey, why not invest in a bucket of lube on my own already? And then next, we bought a new set of lug nuts. Pretty basic. Nothing fancy. They're the end cap style. They're long enough for the studs. They'll work good. They look nice. Little extra thing. Last week I talked about wiring in the lights on my headache rack. Well, my wire came in, so that's cool. Now to balance these tires, we're actually going to use BBs. We're going to use these airsoft pellets. These are little plastic pellets that are finely, I don't know what you call it, machined or whatever. So try to buy some high quality ones. These are a little bit heavier one. This is the 0.20, there it is, 0.2 gram each. Each one weighs 0.2 grams, and then there's 5,000 of them in there. So I've already done some rough calculations, so you know roughly how much you've got to buy. So I had to buy 2 bags. I'm only going to use probably one and maybe a quarter or half of the other, so that's cool. And then in order to actually weigh these out to know how much I want to put in these wheels and tires, I bought a little kitchen scale, one of these little guys. So you just hit it and it zeroes itself out, and you can, you know, weigh it in grams or ounces or whatever you want. Pretty handy. I've always needed one of those for other things too. Not drugs, just random little things that I always need to weigh something that's small. So it's kind of nice having that. So next, we gotta talk about stickers. Now, I still have some stickers left. So if you would like a free sticker, all you gotta do is send me your address to pootsgarage@gmail.com. It's pretty easy. My address will be in the description of the video. So just shoot me an email, give me your address, and I'll send you out a sticker. Now, I am starting to get low on these stickers, so eventually I'm gonna have to get some more made, and I'm probably gonna have some nicer ones made, so stay tuned for that. And since we're on the topic of stickers, I also wanted to give a huge shout out to somebody who sent me stickers. So these stickers came from the channel Clint McMillan. I'll put a link to his channel in the description to my channel below, so you guys can go check him out. He's a pretty good channel, very entertaining guy. We communicate back and forth on email and stuff like that a little bit here and there. And so I've sent him stickers. Now he sent me some stickers back, so that was really cool of him. And he really overdid it. He sent me way too many. So let me show you what we got. So he has 8 designs. Same thing over and over, just different colors. I really like this one right here. That's a nice one. But it says support your local crack house. He goes by Haus Customs, but his YouTube channel is actually Clint McMillan, so look him up. I like the design, I like the logo, I like everything about it. Clint makes YouTube videos just like I do, you know, just little stuff here and there. We're both small channels, and I like his content. It's got a good style and whatever to it, and he's a character, so that's pretty cool. He's easy to listen to. So go check him out, and if you want stickers, hit him up. While I've got you here, people send me a lot of pictures of my stickers that are applied to their vehicles and different things, or they just like to share pictures of their trucks and rigs and whatnot. So check these out. Now for the fun part. We gotta work on these wheels and tires. But first, I wanna see how much these things actually weigh. They say they weigh 93 pounds. Shipping weight was a little bit more. Let's see if we can't get a scale on. It's kinda hard to get the tire completely on the scale. Make sure we're zeroed out. Yeah, close enough. Yeah, we're right about, looks like 89 pounds, almost 90 pounds. So yeah, pretty accurate. We'll call that 90 pounds. And the other thing I wanna do is I wanna weigh the wheels. So here's the hardware, here's a pound. Get these on there. You can't see it because it's kind of hanging off. Let me take a look. We are at, those wheels weigh 35 pounds each. So when I picked up these wheels, what was that, a month or two ago? Yeah, it's been like a month. When I picked them up, I asked the guy, the owner of the company, I was like, give me some tips and tricks on how to mount beadlocks, because I've never done them before. I've done tons of normal conventional wheels and tires and normal car stuff, but I've never done beadlocks, and I've never actually done a set of tires this big, I don't think. One of the first things you do is you actually put a bucket down. You think I would just sit there and have a beer, but no, you're wrong. So what we do is put the wheel on the bucket. And that keeps the wheel off the ground. It allows you to work around it. Now this allows you to kind of, get the tire on there, and it allows the tire to actually drop down past the rim, which you kind of need. Where if it was sitting flat on the ground, your tire would be up here because the bead would be riding and it wouldn't seat right, and everything would be forcing itself up because tires are wider than wheels. So you put it on the bucket, and it allows the tire to actually fall down over the wheel. Pretty slick, right? All right, remember, now I've never done beadlocks before, so go easy on me if I'm doing things wrong. I don't have the right dipping thing to use I've never used this exact type of lube either. This is a little different than what I'm used to, but we're gonna just go for it. So you put a little on your valve stem, grab your tool, stick her in the hole from behind, thread it on, and give her a little pull. And now we're on to the part that I am new to. The lube is very strange. I'm using a sponge, which isn't ideal. I guess it works, kind of, but this lube, I wonder if I have to add water to it or something. It's like jelly, it doesn't want to pick up in the sponge, it just kind of moves it around. All right, now we're on to the new part, it's getting this tire on this wheel. So the first bead should go on fairly easy. I do have to get over this lip, but the first beads usually go over that real easy. So worst case scenario, I might actually put the wheel on the ground just to get the first bead over. But if it falls right on, I don't know. Let's see what happens. First off, I'm just gonna set it on there. Yeah, so we got a lot to go. First one on. Now we go like this. Now I can do the butt. Woo. We got it on. First bead slipped over. Wasn't too bad once I figured out where I'm at. And now you can see where this tire is kind of sitting on there's a ridge underneath the rim here. And that's gonna be one side. And then the ring is gonna go on now, and it's gonna sandwich that bead in on the outside. And then we're gonna put bolts in, 24 bolts. So the ring goes on, line it up to where I need it. Battleborn Wheels told me to use anti-seize on each of the bolts that are holding that ring in. So that's what we're doing. Screw up. I forgot to put the balancing beads in. So I'm just gonna, they're barely threaded in, so I'm just gonna make sure no threads are in. I'm just gonna lift it right back off, and then you'll see how I do these balancing beads. Alright, so I mentioned before we're using airsoft pellets to balance these tires. It's a different way to do it. It's good for the big tires. It's hard to balance big tires normally with lead weights and different things, so we're not even gonna bother trying to go to a tire shop and get these things balanced, so we're gonna do it ourselves. And a lot of guys like to calculate. These are 0.20 grams each, but you gotta convert that to ounces. So doing like 0.2 times however many, I forget what the calculator, I did it before, and it tells you roughly how many pellets you need. I need like 1,460 of these. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna sit there and count those. So I bought this little kitchen scale. They're relatively cheap on Amazon, so this will be the easiest way to do it. We can put it right on ounces, pour it in to get what we need. All right, let's get her back on ounces here. Milliliters, that's fluid ounces, weight ounces, right there. Pretty simple. Put your container on, we'll zero that out. So that is ready to rock. So there is online calculators on how much to use, and it kind of seems the general consensus is 14 to 16 ounces for a 40-inch mud tire, so we're gonna go 16 ounces and see what happens. Let's see, it's gonna be quite a bit. Let her catch up. Woo! A little too much, take some out. Look at that, you can even get exact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. Drop them all in there. Oh, I went over. You don't have to be this precise. Nobody else is being this precise. But I'm being this precise. Oh, we're almost there. Oh, we're back to that. Take one out. Oh, put one in. Alright, we're calling that good. Alright, next I gotta get these inside here, so that's why I pulled the ring back off, so hopefully I can pull the tire back up a little bit, dump them in, and then hopefully we'll be good. But I kind of pushed the tire down earlier, so it might be kind of stuck now. Yeah, this will be fun. I can put the tire upside down and pop it off. So I can pull this outer bead out just enough to pour these in, so we'll do that. This is really weird pouring these into a tire like this, having loose things inside your tire. It's kind of a weird feeling. Alright, now we can put our ring on. Grab the right holes. Alright, so now the really tedious part, I'm already tired and I've barely started one, is we have to start running these bolts down. So I'll zap them down real easy with the little impact gun. We'll start getting things down, and then we have to go through and start torquing them by hand. 24, and we have to torque them multiple times, so that's kind of what a lot of people hate doing these things, because it's just so time consuming like that. But hey, let's do it. Ran everything down a little, snug, not right, nothing crazy, but I still got some loose ones, because as you tighten some, others get loose as it's working its way down. Now we're not all the way down yet, but I do want to start torquing, so because some of them feel like they're getting a little tight. So our first round, we want to get 10 foot-pounds, and that'll kind of help suck everything down, and then we can make sure everything's even. And then our final torque is going to be 18 foot-pounds, and so we just want to make sure everything's even and flat. And as you go down the other side, the one next to it might get loose because it's still compressing rubber, but we're going to get to the point where this outer ring is actually going to contact the inner ring or inner barrel, and we're not quite there yet. We got about 1/8 of an inch left in there, I think, so we're just gonna keep working it way down and keep everything even. I did apply tape to equal locations all the way around, just so I can keep track of where I'm at, because there's so many of them that you're gonna lose track of, jumping one side to the other. So hopefully that'll help me out a little bit. we have gone around and torqued this thing about 100 times. That is a lot of torquing. But we're still on the first wheel. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but we're there. So I went around and I we're at that max 18 foot-pounds. I've gone 18 a few times and the bolts are just barely twitching, so we're not gonna go any more. The only problem is, I don't think we're quite set yet, because if you look under there, yeah, you probably can't see. There's a little bit of a gap still. You see that gap under there? That has to close up, I think, still. It looks like it's barely touching on one side, but a little off on the other still. We need it to touch all the way around. So what I'm gonna do is, before I put air in these and get that bottom bead to seat down and all that stuff, I'm gonna let these things sit for a while like they are and let that rubber slowly compress and do their things. And I'll come back maybe after I do one or two or all these other ones. I'll come back and torque this one again and see if we can keep compressing it. Last case scenario, I think, is maybe we'll bump up that torque to, I don't know, maybe 20 foot-pounds. I don't think that'll hurt it, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But so far, so good. I've been at this for hours. This is rough. I've had to torque and torque and torque in circles for hours and hours, and my back is killing me right now. But we're pretty much done torquing here. Next I want to put air in these things. I want to get them on the truck. My goal tonight is to get everything on the truck, sitting on the ground, and yeah, that's my goal for tonight. Like, God. So this is where we're sitting right now. All these wheels are mounted up, tires are on there. There's no air in these tires yet, so we got to put air in them, and we got to get this back bead to seat. Once you put air in there, it'll pop out, and hopefully I still got some tire grease. Yes, there's some slickum in there still, so we will get these things popped. I hate that. We've got air in them. They are ready to go on the truck. So, last thing I gotta do is jack this truck up and put these on. We got a new set of lug nuts to hold them on and look just right. So, let's do it. Well, we did it. We're back on the ground. This thing is so tall. There's so much ground clearance under here. Like, I can do things under here now without jacking it up. This is pretty sweet. Want to see a better picture of it? There she is. That thing's a monster. Those tires are so big. I love it. It almost makes it look like a short bed sometimes when I look at it now because the tires are just so big. But yeah, this is pretty cool. So obviously the biggest thing right now is these tires are stuffed. There's not much room. There's a little bit of room back here. You go up to the front, that ain't doing nothing. So it's always been in the plan to have to trim the heck out of these fenders. So we're gonna end up doing that. These fronts will come straight across. Bloop. And the rear's not too bad actually. The rear could possibly fit. It'll probably hit here because the axle is going to swing back just a hair. So front might clear, but yeah, we're still trimming off the whole bottom of this bed here because it's all rusty anyways. So yeah, we got a lot of work to go before this thing is on the road. Another interesting thing is the wheels actually stick out a lot further on this side than the other side. Looking at the mounts for the rad support and the fenders, it looks like the whole body's actually shifted over on the frame slightly. So eventually we'll try to loosen those up and see if we can push the whole front sheet metal section over about an inch and see what that does. But yeah, it's pretty gnarly. But you can see how little clearance we have on these fenders. I probably couldn't even turn that right now the way it's sitting. So obviously we got to do a lot of trimming and we have a lot of other stuff. So this thing is so tall. You gotta remember, I'm like 6'3" or something. 6'4", 3, 2, I don't know, 6 foot something. And this is as high as I can reach now. This is a little excessive. Hopefully it fits out the driveway, out the garage door. Hopefully we clear. But yeah, it's kind of amazing. Just like when I open the door, I don't know if you can see, but I mean, like the rocker panels, where I gotta step up is up here now. Like I need a handle of some sort there to get up. And it's kind of interesting because this is a small lift. This is only 5 inches, but we gained a ginormous amount of lift with the size of these tires. So this is pretty cool. I'm getting excited now. But now that we're back on the ground, we got a lot of work still to do. I gotta measure drive shaft angles, I gotta measure drive shaft length, and I gotta order custom drive shafts for this thing. That's expensive. And then obviously we gotta trim fenders a lot. And then we gotta figure out some steering clearance issues. And then once we kind of get those figured out, we can drive this thing a little bit, and then I can start getting the suspension to move a little, and I can figure out bump stops, I can figure out the front shocks, all that stuff. So we're getting real close, but we still got a lot of work. But for this weekend, this is all I got. I wish I would have started this weekend earlier. I got lazy the first 2 days. Day 3, I decided to hammer it out finally. And now I gotta quit and edit all this stuff up, which will take up another 8 hours of my night. So I'm pretty excited. Hope you are too.